हम कोरिया में नहीं जा पाते।
Good evening, all. I hope you all doing well. Okay, sir, good evening. Is my voice audible to everyone?
Yeah. Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. So you can start your session.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll share my
Yeah,
screen.
sure, sure.
Yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen and my voice is also audible for everyone.
Yeah, yes, sir. It is visible and audible as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So in last classes we saw about the what is assessment, how we can calculate the asset risk. And what is the basic introduction about the compliance team, what they will do. So everything we saw in the last classes, and today we're going to see about the networking. Okay, so network in the sense, so we're going to see how the network is going to help in cybersecurity, and how the attacker can use the network concept to compromise the server. I mean, not. I mean, we are going to see complete in the practical way only in the point of network. So after this only we are going to see how to breach the server, that and all we'll see later, but today we're going to see the only based out of network concept. The thing is why network is so much important before getting into the cybersecurity. The reason is, yeah, okay. So before getting into the cybersecurity, we need to understand a few things. So first one is like we need to understand about the operating system. So second thing is like we need to understand about the network. So once we understand the both things, then we'll get a better idea in cybersecurity. The reason why we need to see this because if we want to store the data, we have only in the two places. One is like in system we can able to store the data. Second thing is like over the network we can able to see the data. So the data will be in the two places. So that's why we are giving more important in this two area before getting into the cybersecurity. So if we see that, so operating system in the sense we need to know about the both client operating system and server operating system. We need to uh, clear in this both area because so most of them are thinking that client and server both operating system are same operating system. Okay, but both having different features and different use cases. Okay, so different features in the sense, if we take client, there is some of the operating system. Okay, so in client we have Windows and Linux. In server also we have Windows and Linux. Okay, so the thing is like, so in Windows we have a operating system like initially we have operating system called XP. Then they come to Windows 7. Then we have Windows 8. Then Windows 8.1, 10, and 11. The 11 will be the latest one. So currently we are using Windows 11. In same way, we have for Windows also server. So like Windows um, 3.x in the sense, in the point in this place of x there will be some value. It may be a version 3.1, 2, 3, like that. Then they move on to the Windows 4.x. Then they move on to the Windows Server 2003. So they found Windows Server 2003 R2. Then we have Windows Server 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, then we have 2019, then we have 2022. Okay, now we have 2025 as well. Okay, so this is the latest version. Currently, this is the latest version. So the reason why they are coming for R1, R2 for everything. So if you see here, 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2000 R2. So even for 2025 also there will be R2. The reason R2 in the sense revised versions. Okay, so initially Microsoft what they will do, they will release the operating system in name of 2025, Windows Server 2025. Okay, sure they know that they will face some error, they will face some issue. So once they launch, right, so based on the real time scenarios, they will see some lot of errors. So they will collect all the errors and finally they will release the one more error free versions called R2. So if we use the versions R2, it means will not face any error. So once we try to install that, it will install properly whatever the service we are looking to planning to install, that we can install properly without any error. Okay, even we can able to install without R2 version as well. But so if we install that right, sometime some places we will face an error. That time it's very hard to resolve that. So that's why they are coming with the R2 versions. So once we click that, directly it will install, will not get any error. So that's called R2 revised version. Okay, so even same like so how we are seeing some operating system versions in Windows, same like that we have for Linux as well. But in Linux we have n number of operating system. So I'll show you that. So if you go, I mean, before getting into that, I'll ask one questions. If I mean, just chat is enough to response back. Okay. So can anyone say that how many operating system we have in Linux? Just number is enough for me. How many operating system um, in Linux? Like Windows also here I have mentioned some operating system called XP 7, 8, 8.1, 10, 11. Same like that we have mentioned for server as well. But in Linux, I don't want the OS name. Just count is enough. 10 OL, 10 Linux is there, 11 Linux is there, or else 12 Linux is there. Just count is enough for me. Just if that possible, just drop me the message. Okay. Okay. There are 9 Linux operating system. Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll see that 10 operating system. Okay. So 12 is there, 9, 25. Okay. Let's see how many operating system we have in Linux. Okay. So if you go to the Wikipedia, so in below you see here there will be some image. If you click on zoom right, you see operating system. Okay. Yeah, we have many operating system, thousands of operating systems. Yeah, so if you see here, you can see I mean, Slackware is the OS. I mean, actually, if we see that how many operating system in Linux, we have only two or three. Okay, Slackware is the one of the proper operating system. Debian will be the one of the proper operating system. Then we have Red Hat. Okay, so this will be the one of the proper operating system. Okay, so other than that, we see so many operating system like Ubuntu. Then we have Kali Linux. Then we have Parrot OS. So we have n number of operating system, but that all operating system will come under Debian. So if you see here, so you can see Ubuntu as well here. I'll just a minute. I'll just see. Try to get Ubuntu. See here. So I think everyone can able to see this my cursor. So here you can see the name Ubuntu. Okay. So Ubuntu is directly connecting to see Debian. So from the Debian only they are collecting the operating system. Okay, so actually the Ubuntu that and also called a flavors. Okay, so operating system is different, flavors is different. Operating is the main thing. From that, we'll create a new operating system called in the name of new thing. So like Ubuntu, Kali Linux. So we'll use that name and we'll create a new operating system that's called flavor. The reason why we are getting this much of operating system because we can customize the Linux based upon our utility, I mean usage. Okay, so we are using Kali Linux for the cyber security. So if you want to do some penetration testing activity, so if you want to do some red teaming activity, we can go with the Kali. We'll say like that. The reason is like, so we'll install, I mean by default, all the tools will be installed in that operating system. Okay, so we don't want to install every time. So whenever we are installing new Kali, right, we don't want to install the tools whatever we want, so it's already there. Okay, just we need to use that Kali to start performing the penetration testing activity. It's just like a customizable. Okay, so that's why we are given the new name. Okay, that's the in in that way only we got this much of operating system flavors. Okay, so each one having some usage. Even Parrot also sometimes we use for this penetrate. I mean, ethical hacking. Kali also will use for the ethical hacking. We have Arch Linux, but three Linux also having the different use cases. Okay, same we use the three Linux also in the cybersecurity area, but not for the same scenario. Okay, so is that possible? I will give you a task. You can take it like a task. So it's very basic. If you go and search in internet, so different between Kali, Parrot, and Arch Linux, you will get some basic differentiation. Okay, so in next day class, I'll just try to ask you. I will ask you that. So if anyone can able to answer, fine. No, even though no issue, I will answer on the next classes. Okay, I'll give the answer on the next classes. Okay, fine, no problem. So, and there will be a one more question as well. Okay, so we have this much of operating system. Is the commands and other everything is getting? Is there is any changes on all operating system? No, not like that. If you are good in any one Linux operating system, that is enough. So easily you can understand other operating system as well. In Linux, I am saying. Okay, so just the name will be the different. Okay, other than the commands, the file handling commands, everything will be the same for all operating system in Linux. Okay, so in Linux we have thousands of operating system. Okay, so based on the scenarios we'll use the operating system. Okay, I mean yeah, task in the sense I ask you to go check the difference, just basic different. Okay, Kali, Parrot, and Arch Linux, there is a Linux called Arch. Okay. Okay, so this is also one of the um, operating system mostly used in hacking area. Okay, ethical hacking fields. Okay, so just try to get some difference between on those three operating system. It's not a bit so toughest one. It's a easy. If you go and search in internet, you will get easily. You will have only 2 3 points. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So, but even we need to know that which operating system are mostly usable in the um real world. That will be Ubuntu. Then there is a Linux called Amazon Linux. So mostly this Linux will be in the cloud. Okay, so if someone is using cloud writer, they will prefer the Amazon Linux. Okay, the second thing the third operating system will be SUSC Linux will be there. Then Red Hat. Then we have CentOS. Okay, so mostly we see those operating system in the real world. Okay, this is used for the I mean not in the hacking areas. They will use this operating system for the maintain the servers. Okay, So if the companies want to maintain any employees' data, or else if they want to launch any applications like website, so whatever they want to do work in related to the organization oriented, they will prefer this operating system. So for hacking cybersecurity area, we'll use Kali. Okay, Kali Parrot, that and all only for the cybersecurity area. Even there is a for separate operating system for cyber forensics as well, and there is separate operating system for wireless penetration testing as well. Okay, so because that operating system specifically designed for that specific things, so that's why we have different operating system, but no issue. So when you are a cybersecurity engineer, you should not specifically rely on any operating system. Only if there is a Kali, I can do this. Without Kali, we can't say that without Kali, I can't do any type of cybersecurity checks. Even if you have the Windows, if you have the Linux, you should be ready to perform the penetration testing activity. Okay, so because when you are working for some organization, right? So that organization will not, I mean, some of the organization having the rules, okay, so they will not allow you to install any Kali Linux operating system in their virtual box. Okay, they know, even they know that. Okay, once the cybersecurity team have the Kali Linux, then only they can able to perform the penetration testing activity. They know that, even though they will block. So you need to provide the proper justifications for what scenario is going to use the Kali Linux and what purpose. Then only they will allow you to install Kali Linux on your virtual box. Until that, they will not allow. Even though, I mean, even in the first class itself, I told you that mostly. So even mostly if you join the company, you'll work for the different clients. So there may be I mean, banking sector clients, there may be health industry clients, there may be a manufacturing industry client. Okay, so if you were working for different clients, some of the client will accept for the Kali Linux. Okay, because whenever you are working for the different clients, right, even though you will have the laptop, okay, but if you work for the banking sectors, they will give you the separate laptop. Okay, you should work in that laptop only to perform the pen testing activity, cyber security activity. You should not work from in your company laptop. Okay, even your company will give that laptop, okay, to do some activities. Okay, to do some projects, everything. Okay, but some of the banking sector client will not accept that. They will give the separate laptop from their organization to perform the security checking activity like cyber security activity. Okay, so that time they will not provide Kali. They will provide only the Windows operating system, or else instead of Kali, they will give some other operating system. Okay, so Ubuntu maybe there may be a Red Hat, there may be a CentOS. Okay, so but as a cybersecurity engineer, we have to be ready to perform pen testing activity in any operating system. Okay, so we should not rely on anyone, any operating system. So even if you are a Mac OS user, that's not a problem. So in Mac OS also we have certain, um, I mean, tools. Okay, so to perform penetration testing activity, but if you are good in the backbone of that particular tools, you can able to use that in any operating. The backbone usage means we have some tools. Okay, so I'll just give one example. Okay, so we have a tool name called Nmap. Okay, because most of them will know about the Nmap. So what Nmap will do, what is the usage of Nmap? Okay, so even I will explain this, and not in the deeper way. I'll just explain what is Nmap. Okay, because this we will see in the practical part. Today we are just going to see about the network and operating system we are going to see. Okay, okay, so Nmap is like a network mapping. So if you have some, this just imagine this is your target. Okay, this is your PC. Okay, so what now you are planning to perform some attack on this target. Okay, so once you got the target IP, what we'll do? So we'll first do some analysis on the target. Okay, about the target. So we'll do some Nmap scan. Okay, so Nmap scan will give actually what operating system is running on the target, what is the actual service. So everything collect from the target and it will show you what and all the things running in the target. Okay, so once we got those details right, then we will move on to the attacks. So if you know how this nmap is working in the backend, just if you see the tool, okay, if you check for the definition, we'll get that. Okay, this will give you the operating system detail, this will give the service detail, and this will say, okay, whether the target is alive in the internet or not. We'll got those detail. Okay, even we can see if there is a firewall, we can easily predict that. Okay, so whether the firewall is running in the target or not, that and all we can easily predict by using Nmap. Okay, but if you know the backbone, how it's working, then whatever the operating system with you, that's not a problem for you because you know the actual backbone work. So even you can customize as per your operating system. Okay, so if you know backbone work, then fine, no issue for you. Otherwise, we need to rely on specific operating system like Windows, Linux, like that. Okay, so mostly Nmap and all will work in the Mac operating system, but if you go bit advanced level of tool, that will not support by the Mac operating system because Mac have some specific uh, extension to support. So that's why. So if you know the backbone, you can write your own code and you can what to say. You can execute in your laptop and you will get the information. You'll get the information about the target. Okay. But anyhow, we'll see the Nmap and other tools how we going to work on the how will how the tools will help to get the information, how the tool will help to attack the target. That everything will see practical. That's not an issue. Yeah, fine. So till this, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll explain that. Yeah, fine. So I hope everyone are clear in this topic. Even if you guys have any doubt, just drop the message. I will explain you that. Okay, fine. So here told you that okay, we should we need some idea about the operating system, like even if it is a server or client. So not just a overview idea. Okay, so I'm saying that we need to understand how the operating system is working. Okay, so for example, I'll explain using Windows. Okay, so you have a Windows operating system. Okay, so in Windows we have C drive. We need to know what actually uh, one second. Okay, so see, this is uh, my Windows C drive. So I should know what is actually inetpub and what is the Windows and what is the usage of the users here and what is the usage of the program file. Everything's I should understand. Okay, because once you get the access of your target, okay, if you know all the points about this particular files, okay, then easily you can able to do whatever you want. If you don't have idea on this, then it's bit hard to handle your target because if you want to remove some files. Okay, so if the attackers want to do some attackers want to take some what to say, if you want to showcase them, okay, so I have the complete access on your system. I can able to read some sort of files. Okay, so if you know this all files usage, then easily you can open some files and you can able to showcase them or can able to access. If you don't have a idea on this, it's hard to showcase them. I can able to access your target, that you can say in words, but you can't able to showcase in the practical way. So before getting into this, we should uh, aware on this particular files. Okay, not only on this file. So because if you're moving into the forensic area, for that as well, we should need idea about this those files. The reason is like, if you are in the forensics, a digital forensics writer, so you're going to do some investigation on the laptop. Because so once the laptop is get attacked, or else if they are feeling this laptop is suspicious, right, they will give the laptop to do some analysis. Okay, so in that time we need to analyze each and every folder. Okay, so and you should know what actual data you will get from this folder, then only you can do the analysis. If you don't know what actual data you get from this one, right, then you can't able to do analysis, and you can't able to provide the evidence. Okay, if you want to know, okay, so if you want to analysis some deleted files, or else if you want to see what actual uh, things happen on that particular time. Okay, if you got the laptop, the forensics higher officially saying that, okay, now the time is 7:31. Okay, 7 o'clock there is some incident happen in this laptop. Okay, I need to know what actual incidents happen in this laptop. So if they are saying like that, you need to know which specific file you need to open to analysis those things. So you need to know everything, then only you can do some analysis, and you can, once you attack, then only you can able to do whatever you, I mean, you want to do. Nmap having on, I mean, actually Nmap tools, whatever the tools we are using, everything's are running in the back. I mean, everything's are developed by the coding only. Okay, but if you want to bypass, I mean, I say that if you want to, I mean, if you do the scan, you can easily identify operating system, and you can identify the what are the services running, and you can identify if there is a firewall or not. Whatever it is, you can easily identify. But for that, you need to know the backend understanding, not a code. You need to understand the backend logic. Okay, so you are just in tools. We see that, okay, you have the space to give the IP. Once you hit enter, you will get all the details. But if you know how it's working in the back end, right, easily you can bypass it. Okay, that's why. For practical, I mean, no need to download any softwares. I'll show you in the, I mean, we'll see in the real time. Even that time, if the whatever things you need to download, everything I will explain. Okay, so the download parts, everything I will explain you, and I will show you in the live. Okay, so actually, so Windows 7 is the two old versions. And one thing we need to understand whenever there is a new operating system is get launched, right? So the reason is like, one thing is like that operating system will adapt for the current technology, current trend. The second thing is like, there is a possible to attack the old operating system. Now we are using 11, right? So it means there is a possible of attack the Windows 10. That's why we are getting the latest one, so Windows 11. Okay, and even though there is a future will also will get change. So in Windows 7, you see, I mean, there will be a separate specific points to get the access. Okay, so what to say that. Okay, so if in Windows 7, if I want to attack, easily I can compromise. Okay, I don't want any username, I don't want any password, anything. Okay, once I know the IP, easily I can able to attack. Okay, for that, the target should open with the port number 445. I am just saying example, 445 is the space to attack the target Windows 7. If the port number 445 is not enabled, right, for me it's very hard to hack. Okay, so it means for whatever the operating system, so there is a specific point to take the access of the system. Okay, so if you want to take access of Windows 10 11, for that as well, we have specific points. Okay, so if that is enabled on that system, then you can able to hack. Otherwise, we can't. Okay, uh, so it's not just like that. throwing some malware to the target. Once they execute, we got the access. So that and all will help only in the only at the time of okay practicing, I mean to see whether we can able to hack my friend's laptop or friend's mobile. That time it will work. But when you are getting into the real time, that will not work. Throwing malware and all, it's not possible. So what is the role of, okay, see, without knowing of operating system, even if you if you get the access of the target, you can't able to move even single step forward. So if you know what actual operating system is running in the target, right, then only you can able to do some commands and you can able to execute. Because in real time you will not see anything like a graphical mode. So like how we are seeing right now, right, you will not get any access like this. Completely, it's based out of commands. Through the commands only you can able to get any folders. Okay, if you want to get any folders, if you're seeing some there is a issue to get inside, right, so first you need to understand the error. To understand the error, you need to understand the operating system, because based on the operating system, based on the service, the error will get different. So if you see, for you have a Windows, you have a Linux. So in Windows, if you see some errors, right, there the error code will be differ, and the error popping up, the method will be also will get differ. But in Linux, same way, it's completely differ. Okay, so first you should understand about the target operate. I mean about the operating system. So installing Kali Linux is not a problem. Okay, that will be fine. So you can install any operating system in your Windows, but how you are keeping that operating system in your laptop, that is up to you. Okay, so the reason is like, so if you are installing some unwanted files or unwanted uh, applications in your laptop, then there is a possible to hack. Okay, so installing Kali Linux is not a problem. See, we can't say it as admin based bypass. Okay, so whenever that I will explain, but I'll just explain how the attackers will bypass that. But I can explain only, but I can't show you the practical right now. But I will show you in the next classes. Okay, so once whenever you are doing some cybersecurity, I mean penetration testing activity, right? So you can able to get the access, but not the complete access of your system. Okay, so you will get only the partial access. Partial access means you are not an admin, you are the super user. You can consider you are a super user. Okay, from that you need to take the access of the admin. Okay, so to get the access of that admin, you should know about the operating system. What actually is running in the Windows, I mean Linux on Windows, whatever it is, you should know about that operating system. Then you can able to do that. That's why I ask you to read all these folders, because without knowing of this, we can't able to do anything. So C is the main, I mean, what to say, key point. Okay, so once you learn all the folders and what is the usage of that particular files, everything, you can easily do the privilege escalation. Yeah, it's like a privilege escalation. I can't able to understand the question. Like all laptops will be supported or any specific system. Like if you are asking for the Kali, right? Kali will support in all the operating system. If you are using the Mac, there is a different way. But you are for Mac also we have the way to install that. Okay, recently there is a new. I mean, even Mac released that. I don't know the name. The name, I mean, there's a concept called containers. Okay, you can install the containers. In that, you can run the Kali Linux. Okay, for the penetration testing, because recently they have released this one. If you search in the internet, you will get the idea about that. If someone is complete. complicated to install because there is some of the files. I can't able to get the point. Uh, I am not able to understand what actually this point is. If someone sometimes can you just unmute and can you just ask me the question? For practice, which operating system is the best for the penetration testing, Kali? So, I mean, for a practice, if you want to do practice, you can there. I mean, if you go, um, you have the site called Vulnerable Hub. Vulnerable Hub. Okay, from there you can able to download, or yeah, there will be n number of operating system you can download and you can do the practice. Okay, yeah, it's a Docker container. Yeah, I mean, not it's like a Docker, not actual Docker. It is. Yeah, if you have the minimum storage and minimum RAM, so that time you can't able to install because you need some proper storage, proper RAM. So if you have only 4 GB of RAM, then it's hard to install the virtual box and hard to run the Kali because at least you need to give 3 GB of RAM to the Kali Linux because if there is, sometimes you have a chance to run I mean uh, high level of tools. Okay, that time it will utilize more RAM, so that time your system will get hang and there is a possible for crash. So I think this I think you can reach out um Amar or someone to get this, but the drivers are different. See, the folder will not get differ. Okay, so I mean, even if you go for Windows XP 7, 8, 8.1, 10, so you have the same folders. Okay, there's no difference. Okay, you'll see same folders there. Only the difference is like so from Windows 10 to 11, the features will get differ. Features in the sense, so if you see in XP, you can't able to run I mean, if you go take 7, okay, take the example of 7, you can't able to run the current Microsoft Word and all. Okay, so for that 7 year there will be some levels. Okay, so only that say, things can able to run in the Windows 7, Windows 10, 11s and all the advanced from the Windows 7. So if you are using the latest operating system, then you can use the latest applications because while developing the application itself they will I mean set some operating system criteria. Okay, only we can run this in this specific operating system. If you go and see your bank application like Android application, okay, so you can't able to install your bank application in the too old Android device, so only it will support last 3 versions of your Android device like that because they know if you are using those application in the oldest model, if there is a chance to hack if that system is got hacked, right up, so whatever data you are storing and whatever the data you are accessing from that application, that can be readable by the attackers. So that's why while developing itself they are not allowing to install specific things in the old operating system. Only they will allow current one or else next versions or else uh, lesser than one. I mean, last 2 versions like that. So Nmap work and all, I'll just explain that, okay? Because we are going to see Nmap. Without Nmap, we can't able to do any penetration testing activity. So anyway, I'll show you that. So not like learning about the all the tools, you need to learn about the concept. Tool will not help you in the cybersecurity. Tool is completely different. So concept is the main thing. Okay, even you can also develop the tool, but we need to
Hi, sir. Soham here.
yeah.
So I has been asked that question about the Windows security system in the message you have been told me you can. So there was a technical issue, sir. So I was telling that so I'm now a computer engineering student. So I had tried so much time to install the Kali Linux, but some
Okay.
of the files are like means our Windows system don't allow to install. So sometimes while installing the file, we have to off the Windows security system. So that's why there are some problems while installation of the Kali Linux.
Okay, but if you, I mean, turning off the security system in the sense like you were saying about the firewalls, or else if there is any EDR you are using,
The quick kill,
quick
but
help.
this problem was came in my old laptop. Now this is my new laptop, so has been not tried in the new laptop as much as. So that's
Okay.
why I asked you the question about this problem.
Okay, so mostly what happened, right? So whenever you are using some latest antivirus or else something, so that time what happened, that antivirus by default itself, it will see that okay, this operating system, if you see some words related to this particular content, it will block it. Okay, it's based upon the I mean antivirus and security system, whatever what security system we are using based on that. Some of the security system by default will block the shoot.
Yes, because of that's only the system says if you want to install the file, the with the reason why we have to off the Windows security system. So that's why the question was my sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
sometimes it will happen. For that you need to, or else you need to inform that endpoint. I mean, from where you are buying, right? You need to inform that vendor to allow you to access this particular files. If you, I mean, once they have the admin access, that will be help you. Okay,
Okay,
if they don't have admin access, you have the only full control. So, but while developing itself, they develop like this. We can't do anything. We need to avoid that antivirus, and we need to use different one.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah, you'll get your notes, no issue. Yeah. So, this is the basic things about operating systems. Second thing we're going to see about the network. Okay, so network, I mean, network and server both will work together. Okay, so only keeping of the understanding of the server will not help you in the cybersecurity. Only understanding of the network will not help you. If you need to understand the both and you need to correlate the both things. Okay, then only you can able to uh, do some say penetration testing activity, that and all. Okay, because see, so if you have a server, okay, so there are so much of data inside the server. If you want to transfer the data without network, you can't able to do anything. Okay, so once the network is there, then you can able to do something. Or network, yeah, that I will explain now. So different between networks and server. Okay, so server is just like a centralized device. It's like you imagine it's like you're operating a normal Windows laptop or else Windows PC. Okay, you can imagine like that. So you can store the data. So whatever you want to install in that system, you can install. But if you want to transfer the details to another system, so for that time you need the network. Okay, without network, you can't able to access that system or that internet. Okay, that's why we need network here. Okay, so that is the difference between servers and network. So server is the device we can able to store data. Network will help to transfer the data from one place to another place over the internet. Okay, even if now we are doing some uh, conversations, right? So I have the system, but I can able to draw something here. I can able to do whatever in my system. If you want to see, you need network, right? Without internet, you can't able to see whatever things I am doing here. So that is called different between network and servers. Okay, so for that, if, I mean, for server there is a different spec. Okay, so server in the sense we have a server, even the server system having specific uh, prerequisites. If you want to install some server operating system, you can't install in your normal, yeah, you can, you can't install in your normal laptops, because even laptop itself we having different models like consumer model, commercial model, workstation, we have server. Okay, So consumer in the sense like we are using, right, that and all the consumer. Commercial is bit advanced, only used in the organization side, because so what we do, we use only for 2 3 hours, then after that we'll close the laptop. Okay, but in organization side, not like that. They will run the laptop around 8 hours or 9 hour 10 hour. Sometime they will run the entire continuously for 2 to 3 days. If there is a project, they can't able to shut down the machine, they will keep on running for 2 to 3 days. Okay, so that time they will use the commercial laptop. Consumer, it's like a normal one. So then there is a workstation, it's bit advanced from the uh, commercial. Then the next level will be the server. So whenever the I mean the laptop model is getting different, right? I mean the laptop spec. Okay, even the, I mean, if once it's get differ, the motherboard models and the processor, the RAM, everything will get differ. Okay, so how can I say that? Okay, so you are purchasing one laptop. Okay, you are purchasing laptop in 8 GB of RAM. Okay, so in the same processor. I mean here is just i5. Okay, so you i5 13 gen. Okay, so here also you are purchasing 16 GB RAM. Okay, i5 13 gen. Okay, just imagine this is like a consumer, this is like a commercial. Okay, this 8 GB RAM will compete with 16 GB because this is the commercial. Okay, so this is the difference. Same like that, if you go with server, right? For server, even the processor itself get different. Here we use i5. So in server side, we use a Xeon processor. The processor and the RAM model, everything will get differ because if once we are installing the server, we're going to use that server for the n number of usage. Okay, but you can differentiate easily, because if you are buying some laptops, right, what we do, we just install some games, or else we used to watch the movie, or else we run some basics programs, right, like developing the website, or else installing some virtual box. That are the basic things, right? So but once you get, I mean, installing the server, so that server will not access by one user. There is a chance to access by multiple users, because if you imagine like a Google, okay, there are n number of users are requesting that server and trying to access that website. That's why whenever you are doing, I mean, taking the operating system like server or normal, even the system spec, everything will get differ. Okay, fine. So you once you are getting into the network, right? So in network there are main I mean, two or three things over there. That's important. You need to understand that. Then only you can able to uh, breach the data from the network. Okay, I mean here not. I mean I am saying that breaching the data, but actually, so as a cybersecurity engineer, our work is not like a breaching the data. If we can able to breach, right, we need to give them the suggestions. Okay, so once you know the way of breaching, then only you can able to do the suggestion. Don't take it in the way of like breaching the data. Okay, so if you know that how to breach, then easily you can suggest that suggest to that client. Okay, so I just get the access of your device by this way. You need to prevent your device by doing this and all. So then only we can able to explain. That's why I'm saying the word called breaching. But that's going to help you to explain, I mean, suggest them the remediation. Yeah, you can, I mean, okay, so I will explain about the doubts. So first I will complete the network part. Okay, then I'll come for the doubts. Okay, because I'm getting so much of questions. Okay, just give me some time. I'll first explain about the network, then I will explain you and I'll clarify your doubts. Okay. Yeah. So whenever you're getting into the network, you should know about the network hardwares. Okay, hardware is there. Second thing is like you should know about the IP address, then you should know about the OSA layers. Then you need to know how you can able to create the LAN, MAN, WAN network. So we know what is LAN, what is MAN, what is WAN. We know the full form of that local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network. But so definition is not help you in this place. You need to know how you can able to create that network. Okay, so once you know how you can able to create that network, then you can easily uh, correlate. I mean, you know how what type of data you can breach. I mean, which system you can able to get the access over the network. That and all you can easily understand. Okay, so for this you need to understand network hardware first. Second, you need to understand about the IP OSI layers, then type of networks. Okay, so first we'll see hardwares. We have the hardwares called router. Okay, first you have router hardware called network, then we have switch, then we have bridge, then we have hub, then we have NIC card, then we have a repeater. um, yeah, so this are all the hardwares. uh, but some of the hardwares we are using in the real time, but some of the hardwares we are not using in the real time. Okay, so then we have Wi-Fi device. Okay, so first we'll go from the switch, then we go with first we see difference between these two. We'll complete this, then okay, I'll just consider it as first. Okay, then we go with the router and bridge, then we go with the repeater, then we see the Wi-Fi, then we go with the um, NIC card. This will consider as a 5. Okay, so to show the difference and to explain bit technically about switches, hub, routers, I'm going to use the tool called Cisco Packet Tracer here. The Cisco Packet Tracer is a tool you can able to understand about the network. Okay, so this way, I mean, how you can ask me how we can understand using this specific tool, because the Cisco Packet Tracer will help to create a network infra. I mean, you don't have you can't able to purchase your network hardware devices, right? So that may be a bit costlier, so you can't able to purchase that. So before that, instead of that, we are using this specific tools. You can able to create a network infra, and you can run some commands. Whatever the commands you are running in the real time device, the same command you can run here, and you can able to see whether you are getting error or else you are getting uh, successful in your commands, and whether you can able to transfer the data from one device to another device. Everything you can able to simulate from here. Once you are success in the simulations, then directly you can run the same commands in the real time device. Even though this will help you sometimes, so if your organization are planning to create a new office, right? So you have a already office branch A. If you want to if they are planning to create a branch B, that time they will ask, okay, before installing the hardware devices, just show me some simulations. That time you can use this Cisco Packet Tracer, and you can showcase them the simulation. Okay, so we are going to purchase this much of devices, and we are going to connect like this, and we are going to do some I mean, whatever the policies, everything you can write it here, and you can showcase to that company practically, I mean the simulation way. Okay, even they will also get understand easily. Fine. So if you open the Cisco Packet Tracer, right, here I'm using bit older versions. There is a latest model. So in that latest model, you have the latest router devices and latest switches. Okay. So if you go left side bottom right, you can see network devices, and you can see the end device here, and you can see the components, and sometimes you can see the switches here. So if you click end devices, you can see all the devices. See, so if you click the devices, you can see the uh, usage of that devices as well. So you can, if you click here, you can see the routers model. If you click switch, you can see the switches model, and you can, if you click hub, you can see the switch model. Okay, end devices in the sense like laptops, PCs, servers, IP phones, TV, that and all we consider it as a end device. Components, the component in the sense like MCU boards. I mean, this is like how to say uh, IoT boards, IoT devices, because IoT device also you can configure in the internet, right? So that's why we are getting here. Okay, so now I'm just clicking on the switch, and just I'm taking one device here, and at the same time I'm going to take hub as well, because now we are going to see the difference between switches and hub uh, in the simulation model. Okay, I think already I showcased you, but even I'll show you bit practical, so we'll see that. Okay, so here we are, I'm taking two system for each devices. Okay, so I'm just connecting with the switches now. In same like that, I'm going to connect with the hub. Okay, so mostly in real world, we are using the switches nowadays. Okay, not a hub. Okay, hub you can use in your home network, or else if you are using only for the, I mean, very basic things like to connect two devices to sending some data. I mean, if you don't have a pen drive, if you want to send some data from your PC system to your friend system, that time you can able to use this. But in real world, you can't use the hub, we are using switch, because switch having
అదే ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళకపోయినా ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళకపోయినా
uh, please mute yourself.
సర్జరీ అది ఇప్పుడు ఏదవుతుంది ఇలా పోయి ఇలా నుంచి నా అకౌంట్ తీసేసే ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో స్టోరీ వెళ్తే ఫేస్బుక్ లో పోతుంది ఫేస్బుక్ ఎందుకు క్రియేట్ నేను అసలు ఏం క్రియేట్ చేయలే నేను అదే
Yeah, I hope oh, clear for everyone. Yeah, sure. Okay, so switches and all we are using in the real world now. Okay, so real, I mean, why we are using switches instead of hub means we can because switches having a memory, because you can able to configure about security, and you can able to configure how the data should communicate with each others. If you want to restrict the communication between these two device, you can do it by switch, but in using hub you can't able to do that, because hub is just like a you can consider it's like a bridge. Okay, it's act like a centralized device. If someone want to transfer the data from one system to another system, it will just collect the data and it transfer to the all the endpoints. If even if I have one more device here, right, if I have one more device here, even the data will share to this device as well, but actually I want to share the data to this one, but hub will transfer to this device as well. Okay, so this device should response back genuinely, sorry, this is not my data. Okay, so hub is a hub, because hub don't have any memory. Okay, so I'll show you that. Okay, so here what I'm doing now, I'm just configuring the IP. So I'll explain about the IP after this. So just I'm giving the IP 10.0.0.1 here. Okay, so here I'm just giving 10.0.0.2. Sorry. Here 10.0.0.3. Okay, this is the IP. So same way I will configure to hub device as well. I mean, Okay, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer some data from this PC to this PC. So it's getting success. If you see in the simulation, so the data will go to the switch. From switch, the data will go to this PC, not to this one. Okay, because I say that switch having some memory. Okay, so we'll see that how the memory is working. Okay, so once I open this, I have the place to do some commands on switch devices. Okay, so I'll give, but don't think about this commands like I'm giving some enable and doing something. Just see what commands I'm giving. I mean, um, I mean, I'm just here trying to show you that how it's storing the device information. That's it. Okay, so because we are going to see about the cybersecurity part, not about the network. That's why I'm not going to explain about this point. But if you, I'll just going to show only about the um, storing data about the all the devices. That's it. Okay, so show MAC address. Yeah. So if I give the show MAC address here, you can see there is a MAC address, 3 device MAC address you can see here. Okay, so there is a name, type, and ports, everything you can see here. So this is the FA 0/3, 0/3 in the sense fast Ethernet 0/3. You can see here 0/3. This is the one of the port we connected with one device. Okay, so this device MAC address will be D78D. So just I'm just keeping here. You see that there is some dialog box will pop up there. In port, there is a call fast Ethernet. If you see the straight in that, there is a MAC address. You see the MAC address D78D. The same MAC address you can see here, D78D. Okay, so for 0/1, so this is 1. So for this, the MAC address will be 1E62. 0/2, for this, the MAC address will be 44BC. So once you connect the system with the switch, what the switch will do, switch will collect the MAC address information from the PC and it will store in this MAC table. So we can say it as CAM table, contact addressable memory. So the all the PCs MAC address will store in the contact addressable memory. Even if you add attach to one more device, it will store that device information. If you remove this from the switch, right, it will remove this informations. Okay. Okay, so even if you go and see about on switch, right, you don't have a place to do some commands. Okay, only switch have the place to do the commands. That's why I'm saying switch don't have any memory. Just only you can able to transfer the data. It will help to transfer the data, not in the secure way. No, you can't able to configure how the communication should happen. Nothing you can do with this hub. So if you want to do security and you want to do some transaction. How the data should get transferred from one device to another device. For that, if you want to do some customization on that, you need the switch. Okay, so even in switch we have so much of models. Each model of switches having some different permissions, I mean different specifications, no permission and specification as well. Because so in switches you can, if you go and try to buy switches, right, in Amazon, if you try to buy, the switches cost will be different. Because see, mostly what we do, we try to, sorry, we try to buy some switches from here, right? So NTP link switch. See here, you can see the price call 1000 something, so 1500, so 2700. You'll get the price like this. But actually, if you search for the Cisco switches, right? So that time the cost will be different. Okay, because one based on the cost, the spec, everything will get different. Even whenever you try to purchase the switches, right? For the vendor will ask you the first question whether you want a fully managed switch or semi-managed switch. Semi-managed switch in the sense you can able to configure only few concept. You can't able to configure everything. Only few concept you can able to configure. So if you're purchasing the fully management, right, that time you can able to configure the entire things. Okay, so that is the different. Even same way, here you can see the. I'm clicking here. Okay, so even you can see the drive storage and operating system, and you can see how many ports are there. Sorry, not. You can see the ports here. I think this is the 24 port switch, and you can see the throughput. So we have many things here. Okay, that's why the cost will be this much. Okay, but if you go with this type of switches, right, you don't have anything. Just this will see network hub. You can see here ether switch network hub. We say it as ether switch, but actually this is not a switch. This is work like a hub. Okay, just transfer the data. That's it. Okay, so these switches will help to create a LAN communication. So if you want to create a LAN network, okay, so the sorry, where is it? Yeah, so here you see that LAN, right? So if you want to create a LAN network, you need a switch. You can use hub, but there is no security. There is no proper data. You can't able to do some con a customization on the data transaction, anything. Okay, so that's why we are not using switch. So only we'll use this. And even in switches having different specifications, like here only I showcase you that. So these things, and there are few more options as well. Some of the switches you can see PoE in the sense power over Ethernet. So while doing some CCTV camera configurations, right, that time mostly they will use the PoE switches, power over Ethernet, because it will transfer the power and same time the data. So because in see cameras you can't I mean if you see your nearby houses, right, so there will be a camera, but you will not see any plug point over there. Okay, because there will be a cable like sending the power and sending the data. There will be a cable in camera. Okay, so in same way switches having the uh, specifications called PoE, power over Ethernet. It will transfer the power and same time it will transfer the data as well. Okay, that is the difference about a hub and switches, and same like a router. Okay, so bridge is like a hub, router is like a switch. I mean, using this router, you can create a WAN communications. Okay, so you can, so if you want to send some data from one place to another place, now we are doing some communications, right, over the Zoom meeting. This and all happen with the help of routers. Okay, so without routers, you can't able to communicate over the WAN. So there is a device called bridge, but this will not help to communicate with the different places of peoples. Okay, so how I'm trying to say that, so you have the LAN network here. Okay, same way you have some of the LAN network. Okay, so if you want to do if you want to create some communication between these two LAN network, you can able to use the bridge. Okay, if you want to do with the different LAN networks, right, that time only router will help you on that to communicate with the different LAN network, because each one of them having the Wi-Fi now. So everyone are connected in your Wi-Fi device, right? You are having everyone are having the LAN network. So everyone are communicating with each other now. So with the help of router, if there is a bridge, right, only me or else anyone can able to do that. So other can't able to connect with me. So that is the difference between bridges and switches. So switches will help you to communicate over the WAN. Okay, so now you can think that, so where is that? Okay, so if you want to hack some of the device, okay, so you have the device here. If you have one more device, you want to hack this device, right? So if you are in the switch, only you can able to attack the nearby switches, because this is the LAN network. Okay, so only you can able to test only in the same network which is nearby devices. If you want to communicate with a different PC, right, then you need a WAN. device like a router, then only you can able to reach this device to do the security test. Okay, so this is a different. Okay, so each and every networks, the attack model and everything, the flow will get different. Okay, if you guys have any doubts, ask me now. So I'll make you clear. Then I will move forward. So network cable, in the sense, we have different types of cables. One is like connecting with the same device. So you're having the switch here, switch device. Okay, so here also you have the same switch device. Okay, so if you want to connect with the switch devices, the cable will be crossover. If you want to communicate with a different device like PC to switch, switch to router, then the cable will be straight through. Okay, the name of the cable is there. So based on the cable name, you can able to connect with the devices. Try a crossover, in the sense you can able to connect with the same device. Straight through, in the sense you can able to connect over the different devices. Okay, then only you can able to transfer the data. If you are using with for the different devices, if you are using crossover, right, crossover cable, so you can't able to do the communication. Okay, so we have this straight through and crossover. Then we have rollover cable. Okay, sorry, I think someone.
Box.
Yeah, yeah, we have one more cable called rollover. Rollover, in the sense, I mean, here in Cisco Packet Tracer, so I have an option to click here and I can see the CLI here. Okay, but in real world hardware, we can't able to do like this. We can't able to click the hardware to see this type of console. Okay, so for in real world, what I can do, so if just imagine this is the switch hardware, right? So if I want to do some configuration, I need my laptop. Okay, from laptop to switch, I need to do some. I need a cable to connect. So then only I can able to do the configurations. To do that, I need a cable called rollover cable. Okay, so only this cable can help me to configure the network hardware devices, switches, routers. Okay, so for that I will use the rollover. So you can't use here for crossover or straight through cable. Okay, sorry. WAN, in the sense, wide area network. If I want, I mean, now we are doing some interaction over the Zoom, right? So you are in different places. I mean, each one of them are in from the different locations. I am from Bangalore. You guys are from different locations, right? So if I want to communicate with you guys, right? So I need the WAN networks. Otherwise, I can't able to do the communications. See, internet, I mean, network, in the sense, I mean, sorry. So network and internet. Okay, network, in the sense, under this, there is a possible of WAN communication, there is a possible of LAN communication, there is a possible of MAN communication. There may be any type of communication over the network. Okay, it may be now I'm doing some communication over the wide area network, right? Even that I can say there is a I'm doing some communication over the network. I can say like this. Okay, if I want, if I don't want to mention anything specifically like WAN communications or LAN or MAN, I can say network. That's it. Network, in the sense, I can transfer the network over WAN, LAN, or MAN, anything. Okay. So if I say that internet, right? So sure, it will be a WAN communications. So wide area network. Okay. So if I mention it as intranet, intranet. Okay, there's a difference called internet and intranet. Intranet in the sense LAN communications. So intranet in the sense LANs, internet in the sense WAN. So network means I can say anything, WAN, LAN, or MAN. Anything will be there. Yeah, I mean, if you ask how the WAN will work, so only the router will not help you to do that. So router is one of the, I mean, router will help to transfer the data. Okay, to take the data from one place to another place, right? And now we are doing, I mean, if I try to open Google, okay, so that means so from my system, from my Wi-Fi device, the data is transferring over the internet to the Google. From there, I'm getting response. For to take the data from my place to Google, I need some routing protocol. Routing protocol. Okay. So routing protocol in the sense we have there's a different types of routing protocol like static. Then we have RIP, EIGRP. So we have like this different types of routing protocol. So this protocol will help us to reach the target to get the informations. Okay. So that this routing protocol will configure in the router. Okay. So that's why router can able to communicate over the internet. Okay. So in switches, we can't able to configure this type of protocols. That's why we are configuring. That's why we are can able to communicate only in the LAN. Okay. Okay, so LAN in the sense, I mean the difference between LAN, MAN, WAN. So LAN in the sense local area network. So I can give you the example. So I think you guys are you guys will play in mobile, right? So there is a game called Mini Militria. I think I don't know how much of them are aware about this game. What that how we can play, right? So from the I can able to turn on the hotspot from this device. We consider it as A. Okay, I'm turning on the hotspot. Okay, so in this hotspot, I can able to connect four devices. Okay, four or more than that also fine. Okay, once I connect with this, okay, so then I can able to open that game. The same time, everyone can able to open. Okay, so this four guys can able to play together by using this hotspot. Okay, that is called LAN. In the same Wi-Fi, if four guys can able to do can play right, so that is called local area network. Only in the same hotspot. Okay, so there is a one more guy. Uh, so there's one more guy, right? Okay, here there is one more girl called B. He's creating one hotspot. Okay, there are again there are four players connecting in this hotspot only. Okay, then only these guys can able to play together. Okay, but not able to communicate from this one to this one. Okay, only local area network only can able to play I mean oral connected in the hotspot. That is called LAN, local area network. If I want to play over the internet, right, like PUBG, Free Fire, we are doing so somewhere from anywhere can able to connect in that game and can able to play that game, right? So with you guys. So that is called WAN, wide area network. MAN in the sense. So here there is a one of the hotspot LAN network is there. Okay, here there is a one of the team. Okay, this two guys need to do some battles or something, right? That time MAN network will work. That is called metropolitan area network. We can see like this. Wireless network. I mean, not. I mean, we can't say like that. Okay, between the countries, so you can communicate with anyone. Not one, I mean, not like a country between the countries. If you want to communicate with Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Twitter, so if you're trying to communicate with the different people's, right? So for that we need the WAN, wide area network. Range, there is no limits. Okay, so you can communicate with anyone. If you are if you're in wide area network, there's no range limit. So the attack model will see, we need to understand about the IP as well now. Okay, just now we get into the type of network devices and how we can able to create the LAN network, MAN and WAN network. So then we need to understand about the IP. Then only we can easily understand how the attackers can able to uh, attack the MAN network. Distance between TV and remote. Oh, I can't able to get this point. See, okay, I think you guys are confusing based upon the Wi-Fi ranges. Okay, so it's not based upon the ranges. See, just think that so you have a Wi-Fi device in your home. Okay, so what you if you want, this is your PC. If you want to do some communication, the data will send to your Wi-Fi device. From this Wi-Fi device, the data will send to your ISP. Okay, so ISP in the sense internet service provider who is providing the internet to you. Okay, so this guy have some tower. Okay, the ISP will maintain the towers. From this tower, they will transfer the data. Okay, so the signal will transfer like this. Okay, so the meters, the range and all, right? So you are saying 50 meters I can able to connect, and I can able to connect only with the 10 meters. That all based out of this device capacity. Okay, so if you're planning to buy some Wi-Fi devices, right? So the Wi-Fi device itself having some capable, how much range I can able to provide the signal. That is based upon your Wi-Fi devices. Just a minute. Okay, so you can see here Wi-Fi. Okay, so if you see here, you can see the cost around 3,500 plus something. Okay, so I'll take TP link device now. Okay, so just see this. So this device having around 4,000 and this device having some 10,000 range. Okay, so if you click this, you can see the spec here. So okay, so 6 E router and you can see that gigabyte Ethernet and game streaming also you can able to perform here. And what is a quad core CPU and VPN is also there. So based on these specifications, based on the antennas, your frequencies and everything will get changed, and the meter and the range will also get changed. That is completely different. And connecting over the WAN is completely different, because whatever the thing, you can connect with the Wi-Fi. Okay, so if you want to communicate with Google, Facebook, the data will send to your ISP. From the ISP, they will collect the data and they will give back to you. Okay, directly from your Wi-Fi, you can't able to reach out that Google or Facebook. Not like connect with multiple LANs. So because BridgeDB is having one uh, specific things. Okay, only you can able to connect limited levels. I don't know what actually this is. I can connect my Wi-Fi. Mobile data. I can connect Wi-Fi. See, phone will not act like a repeater. The phone can able to share the signal. That's it. Even the phone antenna itself having some limited level of frequency, only to that range it can able to spread the signal. After that, if you want, you need the I mean, see, repeater is a separate device. You need to plug it in your home or somewhere. Okay, you can, if you go and search in Amazon, you will get the repeater device. You can plug it in your play home, and if you turn on that, right, the your signal will get pushed. That's it. The phone hotspot will not work like a repeater. See, PAN in the sense, the personal area network. See, only we have the three different types of network. So, if based upon your scenario, if you are creating some restriction, right, then it will consider as a PAN or PAN, or else campus area network. We have different more than that. Okay, PAN in the sense personal area network. So, if you want to use that particular, see, I mean Wi-Fi only for the specific peoples, then it's come under the PAN, personal area network. Okay, so only you can create a LAN. So personal that and all by doing some restriction based upon your organization policy. So that network will get created. The personal area network is not like you will get around 10 to 20 meters. Okay, so personally, I mean, based upon your devices, after that, how you are doing the restriction, signal range, everything, that and all completely in your hand only. So actually, if you take that, okay, so if you take the Wi-Fi device is completely work in the RF signal. Okay, if you go and search about the RF signal, right? Just a minute. So if you see here, RF signal range. Okay, there may be some set of kilometer. Okay, so not like a limited level. So I'll show you some images. I think you from there you will get an idea. See, you can see here. So for this no, I mean, if when you are in a ship marine, so the navigation will be there, right? For that, it will take around 100 kilometer to 10 kilometer. So based upon the signal and based upon your antenna, based upon your device capacity, the range will get increased. Not like based upon your network, the range will not get. There will be no restriction on your range. Okay, so that and all completely in your hand. Hotspot is it's a LAN network. So if you're doing some restriction, then it will. I mean, we are saying that only who are all my friends who are all connecting with me, right? Then it's a PAN. If you are planning to give your hotspot like a public Wi-Fi, then it's like a LAN network. So anyone can able to connect, right? So Cisco packet tracer is normal tool. That's why I told you that don't take. I mean, this is just I'll try to help you explaining how the LAN network, how the switch, and how the hub will behave. Okay, so we are not going to deep in this network part. we are going to see about the cybersecurity. For cybersecurity, we need some network concept. So to understand that, I'm showing this. But anyhow, if you want to install the packet tracer, just it's very easy. If you go and type download Cisco packet tracer, right? So you download, if you click, so you can download from here. So this is the site. You can download the Cisco packet tracer from here. Okay. So if you want to get the hardware details, you are asking about the network or else you are asking about the systems. So if you want to collect the hardware details in systems, right, just open tab info, system info. You'll get all the hardware details informations. So if you are using Windows, you can use this command. Sorry. So once you type the system informations, you can type it here. If you type system information, you'll get all the hardware resource here. So memory, everything. So if you click like this, you'll get all the complete details about your system. So see here, you can see what operating system, what is the builder versions, and what is my RAM, everything you can, what is my processor, all the details you can able to see here. Okay, just typing the system informations to get collected. Uh, for cybersecurity, yes, you need to know about the computer networks and operating system. That all the, I mean, core concept. So why, without understanding of that, you can't able to get into the cybersecurity area, because if you get, I mean, now you'll not get any major question on the network. Okay, because once you get into the organizations, uh, they, I mean, you will get a client and they will provide you the system and they will ask you to do some security testing activity. That time they will give the IP, right? So you will try to access that system, you feel that okay, I'm not able to get any response from the system, because sometimes you see that from the whatever the tools you use, right, so you'll get the response like no systems are there, all the systems are zero. So what you will also say, you say that okay, the system is not in the network, that's why I'm getting zero, you will say that. Same thing to the client. Okay, the thing is like, you need to ask the question whether they configure that system in the wide area network or else local area network. If it is in the local area network, you need to inform the client that okay, so your system is in the local area network, then I also myself also should be in the same network, then only I can able to do the security testing. Until that, you can't able to do that. Okay, so you need to clear on the network area. Yeah, I will share, because I'm preparing that, but not yet completed. I will share with you. Language, if you think, yes, the language is needed for the cybersecurity. Currently, if you see that if you want to learn something in the language, right, no need. First, you need to understand about the backbone of the entire technology. So, backbone in the sense, cybersecurity, I mean, first of all, we need to understand that cybersecurity is not a new concept. Okay, cybersecurity is like, I mean, even if you go and search in the internet, we see that definition like, so breaching the system to get check the whether the system is able to system can able to attack by the attackers or not. So that is mostly we are saying that that is the definition of the cybersecurity. But actually, cybersecurity is like a thought process. Okay, how much you are good in the, I mean, if you want to do some security testing and if you want to check application level of security, sure, you should know about the application flow and logic. Without knowing that, you can't able to perform any testing, because you will completely rely on tool. That time, if you want to try something advanced also, you can't able to do that. First, you need to understand about your if you want to go do some better in your web application security, or else if you want to do better in your server level of security, so you need to know about that complete development scenario. So if you want to know do some security test on the server, you should know how the servers are configuring, and how the servers are connected over the internet, and how the firewalls are configured with that server. Everything you should know about that. So then security is a very easiest part, because you know how the server will react, and how whatever the, if you are sending some request, right, you know how the server will respond back. If you are sending some request, if it in between, if there is a firewall, you, if based on response itself you can able to understand, okay, there is a firewall. If you don't know about that, then it's hard to understand based on the response. Okay, then you will completely rely on tool. Mostly if you are getting into the real time, right, you will use some tools, what to say, it's not a complete automation tools. It will give only 5% of information. Based on that information, remaining 95 percentage, you need to think and you need to analyze. Tools will not help you in the cybersecurity field. So after once you understand these things, then program will be help you, because if you want to move higher level in the web application, that time you need to know program. And you want, by reading of the program itself, you need to understand what applications vulnerable logic is there. So based on that, you need to do the attacks. For that, you need the programming language. But you, we can't able to rely on C, Python, Java like that. So if the application is running in the PHP, you need to know the PHP. Python, you know the, you should know the Python. If there is a ASP.NET application, you need to know ASP.NET applications. So programming will move you in the advanced level. But if you are a fresher, uh, you should know about the logic of the application. Then you can move into the code level. Okay, so MPLS and SDN. So fine. This, if I take right now, it will take too much of time. But anyhow, I'll explain this on the next day class, because we have only few minutes to complete this. So I need to complete this task. I'll explain in the next class. Okay. This is like a protocol. Can you explain this? I mean, can you repeat this question in bit elaborate, because I'm not able to understand your question. If you elaborate this question, I can able to understand. I can respond you back. In Linux, if you want to know about the system information, there is a location slash. Uh, just a minute, I'll show you that. There's a path called PROC. Under PROC, you will see the OS. No, sorry. Just a minute. I think I'll open the Linux. I mean, you can see the proc folder, PROC. In that folder, you can able to see the system memory information, and you can see some related, I mean, system hardware level of informations. Then you have the command called uname-a. So that command will help you to understand, I mean, find the kernel versions, the kernel versions of your operating system. Then you have one more command called cat/etc. Just a minute, I'll just type that. Then you'll cat/etc/os-release. This will help you to find and I mean see the operating system informations. So then you have the uname-a Then you have the command, you have the folder called proc. In this folder you can see the system memory informations that and all you can able to collect here. So like CPU informations, everything. High bandwidth, low latency network, TCP. See, actually, if you want to control your bandwidth and if you want to control the latency, right? So we need to see. Okay, I'll give an example. Okay, but you have a switch. Okay, you need to increase the. I mean, you need to increase the data speed. Okay, if you want to do some proper data communications without any lag. Okay, so for that, what mostly we'll do, we'll configure the VLAN. There is a concept called VLAN. Once if you configure that VLAN, what happen? So I'll just give some basic example, but I'm not going to deep dive into this concept because everyone need to understand this. So okay, so you consider this is a switch you connected with the three different devices. Okay, so now what I am doing now, I am just splitting this. So this is one type of, I'm going to create a network splits. Okay, I am going to inform this devices. Okay, so only help to, I mean, do the communication with this one and this one, don't communicate with the third devices. Okay, for this what I will do, I will create a VLAN. So that time what happened, right? So this if I try to send the data to this device to this device, so the device will transfer the data only to this. Communication will happen between these two folders, one, I mean, two devices. Okay, that time the third device is ideal, and the company and the data will not disturb the third port. So that time what happened, you can able to do some fast communication. So this and all I mean, only the backbone network configuration, because whenever you are trying to, okay, so you're I can explain, but everyone should understand about that, the content delivery network, everything. So for first, I'll just give the basic example. In network, you have a different scenarios. Okay, so one is like a communicating between the two devices. For that, there is a certain protocols. If you want to do some configuration like you are planning to avoid the downtime in your network. Downtime in the sense, if I'm now I'm doing some communication between two different persons. Okay, I'm doing some communications. So this communication should not get a delay. Even though the network is get down, this communication should not interrupt. If for that, what I will do, there is a separate protocol. I will configure that. If the one network is get goes down, then automatically the next network will get up, and it will initiate the communication between me and that particular two persons. Okay, so there is a separate protocol. If you want to if I want to do some configuration, secure configuration, for that there is a separate protocols. So this will help you to increase the high bandwidth and avoid low latency in your network. You need to understand this concept. So there is a separate protocols for that. And CDN network is like okay, now you are doing some communication. I'll just give you some basic example. Now you are doing communication from here to some Google or Facebook. Okay, so okay, like Google. Okay, Google, now we know Google is in some foreign country. Okay, so if I want to do the communication from here to there, sure, for me it will take some time to get response from the server. Okay, because it's in some other place, right? For me, it's definitely it will take time. For that, they will create the CDN network. CDN in network in the sense, they will create one. So I mean, they will create a server in the each region. So for me, there will be a server in Mumbai, and for foreign countries peoples, there will be a server in their regions. Okay, so whenever I am doing some request, the request will go to that particular Mumbai server, and I'll get back the response. It will not, the request will not go until uh, foreign countries. Okay, so it will go to my nearby region, and I'll get the response to avoid the delay. For that, we need to create the CDN network. And if you want to work with the CDN network, you can use the Cloudflare. So Cloudflare will help you on that to create the CDN network. I mean, for as a beginner, this operating system understanding of the operating system network is fine. So if you're moving to the intermediate level, you should understand the complete workflow of the network and operating system. So then only you can move to the advanced level. Okay, so as a beginner, this is fine. So if you are moving next, you need to increase your network knowledge and you need to increase your operating system knowledge bit higher. See, three-way handshaking in the sense, okay, so if you're doing some communication between, okay, just take the example of now I'm doing some communications from browser to Google. Okay, so I'm doing some communications. I'm asking, requesting to get the website from the Google server. Okay, so my browser will not, my system will not directly get the Google site from the Google server. First, it will say there will be some handshake. Like my system will try to understand about the Google, and Google will also try to understand about my system. Then my system will say what type of encrypted communication we can perform. So then server will spare. I mean, suggest some of the encryption algorithm. After that, my system will try to get the website. So there is a communication between my system to my system and Google. Okay, that is called handshake. So whenever you are doing transferring data over the TCP, right? So that time, sure, there will be handshake for some each and every protocol. I mean, each and every scenarios, the handshake will get difference. For DHCP, there will be four types, four way of handshake. For normal website request, normal data communications, there will be a three way of handshake. So based on the data, the response will get differ. There's a different handshake. See, if you want to get the I mean, admin access of your college, just type sudo su. Once you hit enter, it will ask you the password. I mean, your Kali system password. If you give, you will get the admin access. That's it. Because you are using the Kali, you only the person going to use that, and you are installing manually from your end, right? So that time you can keep any password for the root, and you can keep any password for the normal users. Okay, so I will explain this later because if I want to get this, I need to get bit deeper, and everyone will get confused on this. I'll explain this. For me, I need some amount of time for this. Just note down the question, and in next class, if you ask me in bit early, right, I can able to explain this. Anyhow, in next class, we are going to see completely about the only about the network. So that time, if you ask me, I can able to explain, and I can able to show you in the practical while doing some explanation. Okay, just note down these questions. See, I mean the communication in the sense, it's like a handshake. If you, I mean, first what my browser will do, my browser will send the request like synchronization, SYN. There is a request called synchronization. First, my system will send the request to the Google uh, server like synchronization. So you can consider like synchronization. Hi, how are you, Google? Like that. Okay, just sending hi message. So then, what server will do? Google server, it will send the response back to my system like synchronization acknowledgement, like yeah, I am fine, what do you want? So then what my system will do, my system will send back to the Google like acknowledgement, like acknowledging in the sense, thank you for my response. Then what my system will do, my system will send the next request like, okay, so now you are you and me ready for the communications, but before that we need to get some understanding what type of encryption channel we can use to do the communications. Then I will send some suggestion type of encryption method what my system browser can able to understand. Then what server will do, server will send back, okay, thanks for sending me those encryption methods, but I can able to handle the specific one in that options. It will select any one and it will response back. Then your system and Google will start communication. Yeah, I will show you that. That's a bit easy. I can able to show you that. Uh, yeah, I think. Yeah, Suraj, you just I'll just note these questions, okay? So in next class, before starting, I'll just explain this all, okay? I'll just noting this question because to I explain about the firewall and other things, I need bit time. Okay, so I'll just note down this question just a minute. I'll just take the copy of this. So then from next class, before starting itself, I can explain you this. Yeah, okay. LinkedIn profile. Um, I'll you can ask Amar or someone. Okay, I think just a minute. The person name. About a permission actually. See, not like that. So based upon your applications, if you are taking some banking applications, sure it will ask some permission. Like so, whenever you are trying to, um, so if you want to send some messages, right, that time it will ask you to access your contact. Sometimes if you want to take some do KYC, right, that time it will ask you to access your camera. Okay, so for that time you have options like so if you want to allow every time or else specific time or while only while using the apps, that time you need to select the options, so only at this time, like that. So based upon the application, there I mean or their permission will get differ. And even though we feel that okay, why these applications are asking my contact permission, asking my um, camera permissions, okay, we'll feel sometime like this. Okay, so what you can do, you can trust which applications are you are downloading from the Play Store and which is proper trusty application. For that you can provide the permission. Even you need to specify while giving the permission, you need to mention only the uh, access the application only at that particular time. Okay, not for every time, not for while accessing the application, only on that particular time you can able that you can allow the access. After that, once you close the application, the permission will get disabled. Okay, so you can do like this. So that will reduce your risk, because we are in the digital world, right? So we can't able to say that okay, 100 percentage every time we can save our side. Okay, so we need to save, we need to manage that security levels. Okay, I hope yeah, sure, I'll send that. See, cybersecurity is not a hard. Okay, so cybersecurity is not a hard. So until you understand the concept about the server applications, that and all. So once you understand, it's very easy. If you're not able to understand the backbone of the how the applications are working and how the servers are working, how the networks are working. So until that, you will feel that is a bit hard. So for you need to under for that, what you can do, you just start learning from operating system, then network, then you go with the application application workflow. So workflow in the sense, how can I say that? So if you take the Amazon, you need to think about, okay, how the Amazon application will be. So you have the customer portal. Okay, so there is a vendor portal, because in vendor, the vendor will log in and they will upload their product and they will fix the payment, and then only we can able to do the purchase, right? So that's a vendor portal. Then anyhow there is admin portal. So the application logic and the logic you need to understand with the finance applications, then medical applications, then you need to understand with the um, what to say, manufacturing industry application. So based on the application, the workflow will get differ. So you need to understand that. Then you need to understand about the how you error of the application. So if you are getting some errors while doing some coding, right? So how you can able to understand that and all you need to think. Okay, that will help you to get into the cybersecurity, and you can able to travel easy. Yeah, I'm just taking this. Okay. Yeah. So I hope, yeah. So I think everyone are clear in the today topics. Okay, so do you have any doubts in the today topics? Even if you guys, sometimes once you do the go through, right, that time you will get an doubts. So no issue. So you just note the point from the on next class you can able to ask me the question. Okay, so that time also I will try to clear the doubts. So the communication between the browser and the target Google or Facebook, that and all run based upon the opera OSL layers. In the next class, we are going to see the IP and OSL layers. That time I will explain how that communications are happening. Okay. Yeah. Uh, Shushmita, hello.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think today the
Yeah,
session
we
was
can.
over.
Yeah, we can wind up for the day, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you.
So yeah, as usual, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, that is Saturday and Sunday, we don't have a session. We are meeting again on Monday. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah. So dear students, as you all aware about this, we conduct the session only from Monday to Friday. So Saturday and Sunday we don't have a session. So I request to you all reback join on Monday. Okay. So yeah, I think you all marked your attendance. If you have not marked it, attendance link is on a chat. I request please mark your attendance. Okay, we'll meet again on Monday at 7 p.m. Okay. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for joining. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.